Hey guys, I'm here with the new server. I'm here to show the new viewer players what to be doing, where to go, that kind of thing. I've just completed the tutorial in terms of ancient viability. All three of them are good, though in the early game, before you've reset anything, I would highly recommend doing, you know, for your evolutions, or bestiary. Um, Either Flipper, if you're gonna go Flipper, go Lunaria in the early game, and then maybe swap over to somebody else once you get a Daylight. She's pretty good, but you'll lack a lot of damage, so you'll have to run like a Virtue or something. Next, Splurge is good, go Ultimus. Don't waste your time with Boar Howl unless you have gems to throw away, then do Boar Howl up to like 140, then go Ultimus. Otherwise, and if you go Kink, then go into Bubble Hearth or Kensei are good in the early game. Kensei falls off and you'll want to swap over. But, they're really good, especially in the late game. Bubble Hearth and Kensei, like, rule the late game with Ultimus. So just like a quick, lowdown of where it's sitting in reality. Once you've done that, do your daily quests. Your feats will give you gems and stuff, EXP. All of these things are really important. Don't waste your gold. Do your daily events, stuff like that. Um, you can see there's a bunch of things. This is just a basic free-to-play account. I'm not going to really do anything crazy with it. This is just going to be a run-through kind of, not really a Let's Play series, but like a, check up on where you should be when, because I'm not going to waste any time or make nearly as many mistakes as I did when I first started. So, first things first, run a party. Alright, make sure your Tweety has a lot of damage, and if you're running Splurge, make sure he has damage. Make your other dude tanky, because he's a tank. It's pretty basic. Your team comp will, depend on who you start with, but this will be your basic until you get anything better. For Astras, make sure to use the one that fits your team comp. So I'll go deeper into it as we go along. You don't need to upgrade your Suzaku, your chicken, really, because as much as it's really good for PvE, you won't need it for PvP. Early game PvP, it's really good because nobody has a healer, but you'll probably end up wanting to reset it later into either Kirin or Seiryu. So Kirin is the far right one. He's the slow, really good. Seiryu is the dragon. He boosts your attack and stuff. He's basically the blitz. Genbu, if you're running Ultimus, or like, I guess this guy, Splurge. But you won't need it nearly as much because nobody will be running silences unless they're running Kirin. So it's up to you. The DPS monster is a little bit weaker at the start because you don't have access to lifesteal until level 30. You can tell when you're going to get that because your glyphs, it's a karma glyph. So if you look at all these, just give them a nice glyph, some power or whatever. Merge your glyphs, don't waste your time with trash. Because you'll run out of room very quickly. When you're doing world events, which you should every single day, especially these two, try to do them on the hardest difficulty you can. Don't worry about the power. If you fail, you don't lose any energy, so make sure to try them whenever you can and try to beat them as soon as possible so you don't waste your attempts. The faster you grow, right? Time is equal to money and money is equal to time. So the more efficient you are in early game, the faster you'll level up and the faster you'll do better in the sense. So I highly recommend merging your glyphs, getting powerful very quickly so that you can take on the challenges ahead without any difficulties, so to speak. But yeah, there's no point in worrying about wasting stuff. Just don't spend anything on anything that's not important to you, because don't mutate anybody except for this guy and maybe one other non-ancient unit. The reason it being, later on you'll have birth monsters, and you'll need all your Evo spores and all your other spores. So try to get by with as little as you can in the early game so that you don't end up wasting later. As you can see, I'm like 5-10 levels in. It's maybe been 20 minutes. Don't worry about hockey. Early game, you don't really need it except for on stage 140, really. And yeah, you might not understand right now because this is a beginner's guide, but make sure to invest if you're going to Evo your monsters. Turn the crawler you have into a bliss. Alright. So if you go down the Evo line and you evolve them, Bestiary, Puppet, I guess there's nothing really here right now. But for Tweety, go down the line, get Virtue, so Hikari, then Virtue. The reason being, you need Virtue to get certain birth monsters. So click on this guy, go to your Bornhub, and you see all these crazy OP dudes or whatever, right? Daylight, Sloth, and Death Star are available right at stage 124, 124, 128, 140 for Daylight, right? And to get them, you need, if you click here on your monsters party, then go to, I guess you don't have access to Bornhub yet, it'll tell you which monsters you need, and I guess the ones you do need are Virtue, from this line. So Virtue is a Dracor, so it'll be this one right here. You need Gigatron, which I think is this one. Gigatron is the shield one. Hikari, Virtue is the healer one. From zombies, you'll need Bliss, which I think is this one. But she's the healer one, not Rob, but Bliss. From the ATOL ones, you'll need Armstrong, which is this one, not Enchanter. Don't waste your time on Enchanter. Everybody says he's good, he's not. Alright, his 0.4 attack speed will give you cancer. Don't use him. Armstrong is way better. He has a 0.8 attack speed and increases his attack speed, so he has that knockback way better. In terms of puppets, you'll need Visage. No, you'll need Turner. I think Turner's this one. And don't invest in getting an Assassin because you'll get one for free from your dailies, your check-in. See, you get 10, 10, and 10, which is 30, and you need 30 of these shards to get a free Assassin. So by day 25, you'll get one for free, so no point in wasting your time. Turner or Assassin are worth investing to, I would say, because they're very good. Until you get birth monsters. If you do get birth monsters, don't bother with Fable too much. I mean, you can, and it won't be a waste, but otherwise, the best births are early game Wingman. Jan Snow is good, but she doesn't see a lot of use late game, except for in Vanquish. Otherwise, you know, I would recommend saving your gems and wasting or using them more on using your gems on buying crystals. So eventually you'll get a thing called the dealer at level 25, and the dealer will give you a whole bunch of options to buy stuff, you know, different shops. Those shops will, I guess, be the key to your success as well as RNG, but not making mistakes and wasting stuff will give you a huge long-term advantage that, like, can't be ignored. So much so that, like, if you're dumb about your stuff, you might as well, you know, give up on competition because other people can outpay and you know, smart you if you're dumb about things. So yeah. People are like, how to beat this boss? Just beat the shit out of him. I don't see why people are so like, help. This is so hard. Just heal your units. Your Tweety will probably die. Yeah, no big deal. I don't see where everybody's having trouble. As you can see, Chaos did a lot of damage, but I mean, you have a Tweety, so just make sure to use the Tweety, level him up. If you have the tank one, you can just tank it, you know. Awesome, these things are good. I haven't been doing them quite as much because I want to try to do their level 2 right away, because it's available so early. I don't know if I can though. Maybe not yet. I'm only at 1k power. Later on the power doesn't mean as much, it's your team comp, but as you don't have a lot of options for team comp, you know, there's not a lot of options to do. You have a ton of energy at the start, so try to use it all up as fast as possible, so that you can start spending gems on it, which I know sounds dumb, but you want to spend 4 purchases of gems, so 50, 25, 25, 50, 50. So that'll count for 150 gems total per day, which you should get for free. In general and late game as well, you'll get it for free. So on a free to play, basically stamina is your most important resource until about 60. So you always want to, because stamina is EXP, which is time. So try to get as ahead as you can with that. Also click on the background for these like little things that go on. Like up here, it'll give you the lore if you care. Basically, there was 2 kinds of ancients or something, Artemis and Ares, and they were fighting, and they started giving special spores to the monsters and made them grow really fast, and then everybody wanted to grow really fast, and then they had a war, and they got locked away or some shit. I don't know, it's hard to tell from like journal entries. In terms of escapades and stuff like that, the wild, try to do them every day as your dailies. Try to level up as fast as you can. EXP is a priority right now, and so is conserving your resources. Don't waste. So as you can see, I have 0 mutates on the other 2. I have this guy, which, like, he's alright. I'll probably slot him in eventually, but Tweety's actually good, right? You want some damage on her. You can use mutates on 1 monster, because later you'll get access to a conversion crystal at around 65k power, and using that, you can save everything that you invested on this one monster and transfer it to another one. So all your skills, all your not all your glyphs, but because you can just take those out, but all your skills and all your mutates and all your levels, and your, as long as they're the same level or same type, so green to green, blue to blue, purple to purple, orange to orange, it's very important to do that, basically, because then you're not wasting anything, and you can still go through this early game pretty easily. So that's why I'm recommending you don't waste your time with that kind of shit. At level 25, you'll get some rolls. Try to get lucky, I'd say. Not that you can really influence that, but if you're going to run several accounts, that's fine. Try to keep at least 1 good berth. Basically try to keep a Vulcan or a wingman. Jan Snow's alright, I guess. Other than that, the other ones you can roll are alright. If you're going to waste your money in the Lollershack, do Unleashed, not Bizu for your gems. And don't waste your shit on this one, because, yeah, just try to create them. From here, you can get different berths. Vulcan, good. Fable, meh. Pretty trash, actually. Wingman, good. Jan Snow is alright. She's pretty good. If you're going to invest in getting one of these other berths, I would say Allura is the best DPS late game. Better than Midnight. Don't listen to anybody who tells you otherwise. They're lying or trying to sell you something. Once she's maxed out, and you've done her Awaken power, which will cost, a bunch of your yellows, but you'll farm it eventually. She's by far the best. Otherwise, do your dailies. Your feats, you get a whole bunch of things. Don't waste your gems. you get a little bit every day from Arena and those kind of things, so try to unlock those as soon as possible so you can get a stream of income on which you can not waste by not using them on anything except for stamina and world event refreshes later on, right? For Divine Spores, try to focus in on Genbu level 2, but otherwise the choice is yours, but try to focus in on one. As you can see, my Tweety just died. He's like my DPS, but luckily I chose the DPS one. Oh, I'm fucked. Which is okay. I mean, I'll just edit my team comp a little. Or maybe I'll just win this. I forgot how little healing you get in the early game, but that's fine. It's no huge deal. Yeah, I got slammed. You might die. No big deal. We'll try it again. Yeah. Remember, you can always slot your glyphs and mess around with them to get ahead. For this stage, I would say monster, glyphs, suck at a constitution one, and try to wipe them with your DPS. I know he doesn't have a lot of constitution, but it's not a big deal because now he won't get one shot. But yeah, I'll put another update once I'm a little bit more ahead. But yeah, try to farm up that those certain monsters. It's very important to get an Armstrong, Armstrong, Bliss, Deaths for Sloth and Death Star, and then you'll need a Hikari. Oh, and a Corruptor. I guess those are hard to look up, but there's a wiki and stuff now. This isn't like our first time through, so the quality of the players on the new server are going to be much higher than on the old servers where there was just a bunch of randos. And yeah, this is just like, you know, first day race. I'll post an update of how far I get today, so to speak, before I have to like wait before advancing for more dailies and stuff. You can do auto afterwards, but it's not that important. Right now I'm running Constitution on this guy just because he doesn't have any sustain currently, except for from this. So bonus max health means more healing, and he does damage already from his mutates. And yeah, enjoy. I'll post an update tomorrow, I guess. This is just a basic informational guide on how to do your first day without wasting your time. You just gotta go fast, you know? That's all that really matters. Going fast so you can grow faster. When you roll a 1 on these, if you get an Evo Spore or a Mutate Spore, it's just 1, but it's worth it if you get a Mutate Spore, so don't worry too much about it. Mutate Spores are really expensive, so don't waste them. They're worth about 6 gems each. Evo Spores are worth about 2 gems each, but every gem helps, so it's good to, you know, do those kind of things. Do your arena every day. I mean, attack some people. Oh my god, he's got so many units. We'll see if I can beat him. Oh, what the fuck? He doesn't have his ancient. Maybe he's trash. That's so weird. Early game arenas trolly as shit. Jan Snow and certain comps are way more viable than other ones. Try to get rank 10 at least in every arena before moving to the next one. You know, top 10 or whatever. I've got a defense. Just run like this. Remember that you have to set up your defense, and every time you merge your glyphs or something, you have to change them up. So you go like this, swap them, monster, glyphs, constitution, I'm gonna put attack. This unlocks at what level? 15? Okay. Vanilla gets attack. There you go. Easy. And as you can see, you get gems based on ranking. It's not a lot of them yet, but if you're, if you fight once, you get like, 35 gems and it slowly goes up. You'll want to use your arena credits at the start on level 5 glyphs because you won't have access to those right away. So you'll need them as soon as possible because the faster you grow, the faster you grow. Anyways, have fun, good luck, and don't waste your fucking time.